Yo. Yeah, I do. What is going on though? Alright. So tell them niggas to bring the smoke. We'll come lay them the fuck out. Simple.
Yo, what is up, y'all? It's your boy Elite. Today we're gonna be talking about the potential Tariq and Tommy crossover, because as we all know, book 2 ended. You know, your boy is hurting because that was really my favorite power spinoff. But hey, you know, it might not mean bad news for real. Like, we could be getting something else with Tariq in the future. We just gotta wait and see, but I'm gonna break it down for y'all. Let's get into it. Alright, so boom. When the news came out about book 2 being canceled, like, the fan base was pretty upset. Even people who preferred Raising Kanan or Force, even they thought that the cancellation was a bit premature, because, you know, it was a cancellation, not an ending. So, like, that means the show didn't even get to end on their own terms. Like, the least Stars could have done is giving them like another season or two to wrap things up. But ironically, the news about the cancellation came out the day after Origins was announced. So to me, it seemed obvious that Stars wanted to soften the blow of like book 2 being cut short by announcing Origins first. And I mean, you know, it kind of worked in a manner of speaking, because, you know, folks was all hype about Origins, all, you know, we getting young Ghost and Tommy. And then boom, the next day, folks is like, oh, like, you know, they announcing they cutting book 2. Like, oh, that's really crazy. Because me personally, I fully expected that show to go like a full 6 or 7 seasons. In my opinion, that's the show that probably could have gone the longest. Because, you know, Force is cool and all, but I mean, Tommy's really been a main character since like OG Power Season 1. So, I mean, eventually his story will have to end, eventually. And Raising Kanan is great, like the best Power spinoff, no doubt, or at least the best written. But, I mean, eventually, like, they're going to have to, you know, as we know, they got Origins now. But even before that, I kind of had a feeling that they'd, you know, be telling young Ghost and Tommy's story in a different show. Because, you know, like, it's called Raising Kanan for a reason. It's not called Watch Kanan Get Raised and then watch him raise Ghost and Tommy. So, you know, the second that Kanan is able to raise Ghost and Tommy, he's no longer getting raised himself. And at the time, like, even I was wondering, like, yo, what are they doing up in them offices? Because, yeah, Book 2 is not the best written spinoff, but it's the highest rated one. Like, as far as numbers go and viewership goes, Book 2 is, you know, most highest viewed show on Stars. You know, it was breaking records. So to me, it seemed like a bad move to cut short a show that hadn't finished yet. Like, I didn't see the logic at all. Especially, you know, when Courtney Kemp said that there would be a shift in season 4 to, you know, I believe it was either season 4 or season 5. She said that there'd be a shift that would make the show be able to go on for like 10 plus seasons. So to me, like, yeah, you know, Book 2 gotta end someday, but they could have easily had Book 2 go on like 6, 7 seasons easily. So, you know, I just thought it was a bit of an odd move for them to make. But in the time before and after the cancellation, articles kept coming out about Stars having other spin-offs in development. Like, of course, like I just said, we know they announced Origins with Sasha Penn running that show. And then although Force was ending after season 3, the Force showrunner Gary Lennon, he like signed a deal to develop more Power shows, right? And if I'm not mistaken, it was reported that he was already working on the next spinoff, because Force season 3, that's done. That's in the can. That's done. So, you know, now he's working on whatever show they haven't announced yet. Because so far we have Origins, and then there's one more Power spinoff that we currently know of that has not been announced yet. I'm assuming it's a Tommy show, as I've said in my other videos. But, you know, nothing's for certain yet. Some folks think it's about a different character. Some folks think it's a Tommy show. And some folks even think it's a Tariq and Tommy show. And I'm going to touch upon this later in the video. But yeah, let me know what y'all thinking. And then to add fuel to the fire, like when Force season 3 was canceled, or I rather ended, because I can't say canceled, because, you know, they're going to have a proper ending, unlike Book 2. But, you know, so around the time, I believe it was the same day, Joseph actually might have been the one to report on this, one of the first ones. But, you know, he released a video saying that him and Gary Lennon came to the decision that Force was ending, and, you know, it would end at season 3. But he did say that Tommy's story was far from over. Like, he said it was not over just yet. And if y'all watch some of my other videos, there's one side of the future of the Power Universe, I believe. And in that, like, I talk about how, you know, Joseph himself, he said he's not involved in Origins. So we know, as far as like the Tommy story not being over, he's not really talking about that because he said he's not involved, and I don't think he'd speak on a show he's not involved in. So that's a no-brainer to me. Like, all right, like it's obvious in some way Tommy's getting a new show. I don't know what that's gonna involve Tariq, and like I said, I'm gonna touch up on that in a minute. But yeah, I'm not too sure on whether it's gonna involve Tariq just yet. But so part one of book 2 came out, and then we saw like a lot of the cast, and they were saying goodbye to their characters. And this was kind of sad because Mike Rainey been playing this character for like 10 years, about 10 years. And he's going. It seemed like he was kind of going on like a farewell tour in a manner of speaking, because like he had a little party thrown for him. People are shouting him out on their story like, "Oh, congratulations on 10 years! It's the end of an era." Blah blah blah. It was just really seeming like he was saying goodbye to the character. So I'm like, even I started to think like, damn, is he really done with Tariq? Is it really done? So of course, book 2, part 2 comes out eventually. And me personally, I'm savoring every episode, every scene we got with Tariq, because I'm thinking like, damn, this is really gonna be the last time like we sit down and get new episodes with this character in it. I'm thinking like he's done. So but then the finale came on. It was a good finale. Like I touched upon it in my other video. Go watch that breakdown if you haven't seen it already. But so we all watched that finale. And me personally, at first I turned it right off because after the the ending, whatever, Tariq got his new connect. I'm thinking like, okay, like episode's over, it's done, because Power is not Marvel, so I'm thinking like they ain't about to ending credits. Like nah. But then so I turned off my TV, whatever. But then I go like on social media, and they're all talking about this clip, like, oh, he's about to go to Force, he's about to do this. And I'm like, yo, like, what are y'all talking about? So then I go back to watch the episode, and I see the clip that they're talking about. So, and it seemed pretty obvious that Tariq was on the phone with Tommy. I know some people was trying to tell me, oh, no, that's Diana. Like, that's one person even tried to tell me that was Kane. Like, no, please do not overthink it. That was obviously Tommy. Who else will he be saying? Like, what he say? Like, we always gonna be family, like tell them, whatever, to slide, we gonna bring the smoke. Come on, he talking to Tommy. Come on, guys, like use your critical thinking right now. Do not overthink it. So it seems pretty obvious that in some capacity, Tariq will be in Force Season 3, and this is really the crossover we've all been waiting for. And in one of my other videos, I did show you guys a picture of Michael Rainey Jr. I believe it was during the Power Choice Awards. He was in the CBI barbershop in the basement, where Jannard, Tommy, Diamond, they all be, they'll be kicking it sometimes, or sometimes they'll have a meeting down there. But yeah, so folks are thinking that Tommy and Diamond gonna fall out, and they're gonna have like a sort of like a street war in Season 3, because considering how Force Season 2 ended, that's kind of what it seemed like they were setting up. And it wouldn't hurt for Tommy to have someone in his corner that he's known for a long time, because yeah, he got like his little new connections, over in Chicago now, like the coalition and all that. But honestly, I don't think it'd be a good idea to rely solely on connections you just made, because he hasn't really been in Chicago that long, and the coalition was only introduced in like Season 2. So those are nice connections to have, but it's best to have someone in his corner that he knows on a more personal level, that he could really trust more. And while I don't I'm not saying that Tariq has never betrayed Tommy, because we all know he has, but I'd like to chalk that up to like youthful mistakes. In my eyes, I don't think the present Tariq that we see now would do something like that, because now he knows like that's his Uncle Tommy. Like at the end of the day, family's everything. Because we saw the way he was on the phone, he said we always gonna be family, I'ma slide for you, all that. So I would like to think that Tariq is the one person that Tommy can truly trust more than anyone in Chicago right now. I'm just hoping if they're gonna do a war storyline, like they gotta do it properly. Cause we've had how many? We've had about like 3 or 4 different kind of war storylines in Power, and none of them have been done justice. They've all been mad short, or like just not done justice at all. Cause like for example, in OG Power Season 6, it was interesting to see for the first time Ghost and Tommy actually trying to kill each other. But like, it was just weird to me, because like, yo, you telling me Ghost, had Tommy right in front of his gun in the ambulance or whatever. Yeah, he was in the ambulance. But yo, how you miss all them shots, bro? And then Tommy, was shooting back. I don't know if it was Tommy or 2-Bit, but yo, like they both kept missing. Like some of it was slick when Jason had his man drive Tommy's car and then Ghost shot it up. But to me, a proper war storyline and power needs to be done more similar to how Snowfall did it. Because I believe it was either season 3 or season 4 of Snowfall. Like first you had Man Boy and Scully, they was at war. But then I'm blanking right now, I'm low-key forgetting. But I know somehow they teamed up and then turned on Franklin and his crew. So, it was just mad good. Even the family war that they did in season 6, like Louis, Jerome, Big Dion versus Franklin, even that was done much better than any war we've seen in in Power. Whether that be Ghost versus Tommy, the war that they had, or quote unquote war that they were supposed to have in season 4 of Ghost. And yes, even Raising Kanan had the same problem. I love Raising Kanan, but they haven't got a war storyline right either. Season 3, Rock and Ronnie, like they teased like a little war between them. Like Rock said, alright, we at war now. But then it ended like the same episode. Like I don't know. Power has really just never done a war storyline justice. So if Force does it with Gary Lennon giving that to Chicago, like they really gotta make it proper. They really gotta do it justice for real. And this is another thing that they have to do if they want to pull it off successfully. Like important characters are gonna have to die, and I'm counting on Gary Lennon to pull through with that, since this is definitely the last season of Force. But like for example, in season 4 of Ghost, they were supposed to be at war. The season 3 finale set it up perfectly. All they had to do was execute. But I enjoyed season 4 of Book 2, no doubt. I enjoyed it. I watched it, faithfully every time it aired. I loved it. But the whole war that they teased, they didn't really follow through on that at all. Because, in a war storyline, you're expecting, okay, important characters to die. There's supposed to be a back and forth going on. Like Tariq and Braden honestly should have been against, Noma, the Tejadas, Effie, all of them, the whole season, or at least a good chunk of the season. Obviously, you can't, be at war the whole season, but a good part of the season should have been dedicated to that. But we didn't really get that because, Noma and then Carter, those became like the big bads or whatever, and then everyone teamed up again at the end. And like I said, I'm not criticizing it because it's understandable. But yeah, in my honest opinion, if they really want to pull off a war storyline in Force Season 3, I'm really hoping that they do the things that I just listed. And it's definitely been a minute since Tommy and Tariq have done anything substantial together. Like, of course, Tommy has seen Tariq, but it's really been in like passing scenes and, little conversations here and there. So it'll definitely be interesting to see what Tommy thinks of like what Tariq has become now. Like, do y'all think Tariq's gonna remind Tommy of how Ghost used to be? Or like, do y'all think he's gonna be surprised on how he is now? Because Tommy has really not spent that much time with Tariq since he killed Ghost. So this will be the first time that they actually put in any work together. And also, this little crossover that they're planning to do, it could present a major opportunity for Tariq to finally learn who his father was. If y'all have watched my previous videos, y'all know my frustration. Like, Tariq really does not know who Ghost really was. He really does not. He knew James St. Patrick, father figure, business owner, all that. He really only met, Ghost on a few occasions, and it was only in passing. Cause like, I know we all gotta be tired of the constant Ghost slander. And let me just say, I'm not a Ghost fanboy that just loves Ghost so much. That's not me at all. I'm just saying, like, Tariq constantly slandering his father's name every chance he gets is wild. Cause although Ghost was a deeply flawed man who made a lot of mistakes, Ghost was really that guy for real. Like, he ran the whole network throughout the 5 boroughs, all while staying off the Fed and police radar, and he had his own legitimate businesses. And like, for example, cause Ghost made it look easy, but we saw Rock try to run her own little legit business in season 3 when she was getting out the game, or at least trying to get out the game. And she didn't really last that long. She got like one leaky basement, and her tenants were like, oh, that's on you the landlord, you gotta fix that. And she was like, oh, I'm not built for this, like, let me go back to the game. Like, nah, like, people is not built like Ghost for real. It takes a lot of finesse to manage both. Cause you know, like Tariq's father was a legitimate kingpin for over a decade, but Tariq doesn't. Yeah, like he knows it in passing, cause people have told him, but he needs someone that will actually experience it. And I was hoping Tasha would be the one, but like I feel like if Tasha was to tell it, she'd tell like her own version of what happened. So I feel like in order for Tariq to get the most unbiased version of events, it would have to come from Tommy. Cause yeah, Tasha was there, but she was really in the house. She wasn't there on no corners, no, no meetings, nothing like that. It was Tommy that was with Ghost the whole way. So if anyone is gonna educate Tariq on who his father really was, it has to be Uncle Tommy. And we've all seen the series finale of Book 2, and there was also an article that came out where Michael Rainey Jr. said he feels like, Tariq is finally worthy of the Ghost name. And I'm not saying he'll never get there. I'm just saying, like, okay, he can't keep saying, oh, my mom was the boss. My father just messed everything up. He was this, he was that. My mother was the real mastermind. Like, go, what, bro? That is so far from the truth. It's hilarious. Like, when that first aired, I laughed. That's because this is just so far from the truth. That is not nothing like what happened at all. And this is just a bit tiring hearing him slander Ghost's name for real. Like, great character development for him would be to realize, like, okay, me and my father were a lot alike, but he was, also a very smart man. He had to be in order to do the things he did. So it's like, because Book 2 is over, yet Tariq keeps talking bad on his father. I thought it would have clicked after Tariq met Zion because, even David said the only reason that Zion took this meeting was because of who your father was. So that says a lot, because, like, yo, Tariq, was not getting that meeting on his own. He just wasn't. But in a way, Ghost helped him, his father helped him get that meeting because of who his father was. So it's like, if anything, that should tell Tariq all he needs to know, who his father was in these streets for real. Like, if someone like Zion knew Ghost and thought highly of him, Tariq should realize, like, okay, maybe I have the wrong image of my father in my head. Maybe, like, I should ask my Uncle Tommy or, my mom's more about my father. Because he doesn't really know him. Like, he doesn't know him about Milan. He really only knows about Lobos in passing, really. He don't know about no dude named Jason. I mean, he might, I think he does know about Jason, like, but again, only in passing. Like, all of that stuff that Ghost went through, he does not know about. So it's about time he learns. But back to the original topic. Tariq and Tommy team up in Chicago would mean he'd be, like, interacting with a lot of different characters on Force. Like D-Mac, Kate, Maria, maybe JP. And seeing Tariq in an environment like this with Tommy would be very different compared to seeing him, like, operate in New York. Because Chicago's street culture is a lot worse compared to New York, in my opinion. Like, yeah, it's hard to compare the two. Because, it's just really two different demographics in two different areas. But to me, Chicago's just more dangerous and you gotta move more carefully. And according to Joseph Sikora, we know that Aunt Dolores, Elisa Marie's aunt, she appeared in season 6 of OG Power, I believe. They're going to be in Force season 3. And we do know that both Elisa Marie and Aunt Dolores, like, they got mob ties. Because Benny was, he was a mob boss. And then there was really, I believe it was like the Savello mob or something like that. And then there was like a higher up dude because Tommy killed Benny. He killed Proctor. And then he killed Vincent and his whole crew. But that's not all the Italian mob though. Like, of course, there were higher ups. I forget his name because he was only really in a couple of scenes. But I just remember that they met with Aunt Dolores. It was around the time when Tommy, he snatched up Elisa Marie. So I do know that there are definitely higher ups. And I'm assuming, if they were to hear word that Tommy's in Chicago, they probably going right out there. Because, of course, if Aunt Dolores will be in Force Season 3, I'm willing to bet she's not coming alone. Like, if she knows Tommy's in Chicago, she's not going to be arriving alone. Not at all. That's just, that would be a dumb move to me. So, they definitely going to want to get back for Benny, for Proctor, for Vincent and his whole crew, and for snatching up Elisa Marie. So, the Italian mob, they definitely going to want to get back for all of that on Tommy. And it's always made sense to me that eventually the Italians would be, making an appearance in Force. Because it's like, there's no way that one man unites the entire city. and word does not ring out about what they're doing, especially considering the mob got ties everywhere. So word was bound to get out about what Tommy was doing, to be honest. Him keeping a low profile for, the entirety of the show, it was just too unrealistic, not in a place like Chicago. But now I'm just wondering how many episodes Tariq will be in, and if it'll be in like more of a substantial capacity or just a quick cameo, or how much he'll really be in the show in general. And I am wondering, like, does this mean Tariq is gonna get another spinoff like Tommy is? Are they gonna merge the two shows and put Tommy and Tariq together, like a lot of folks are speculating? Cause I personally don't see how they do that unless Tommy came back to New York. But hey, anything's possible in power for real, so we'll see what comes of that. Like, what y'all think will come of Tariq being on Force? Cause the creators of the show are definitely emphasizing that power never ends, so they could definitely have something in store for Tariq's character. If Tommy could be a main character in the Power universe for 9 seasons, and then go on to get a third show, Tariq's story can definitely continue in my opinion. But let me know what y'all thinking. Like, would you want to see more of Tariq's story? Was the ending of book 2 a satisfactory conclusion for you? Let me know what y'all thinking down below. But ultimately, we really just gonna have to wait until Force season 3 to learn more. Cause as we saw, they'll probably like release like a clip or something, or maybe like an announcement sometime either during or after Force airs. We just gonna have to wait and see for real. We don't know any specifics just yet. But who knows? I could be saying this and they announce another spinoff tomorrow, the next day after that, whenever. We really just don't know because they're just mad predictable for real. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe down below. I definitely want to hear what y'all have to say. If there's another spinoff you want to see, let me know. Like, y'all feeling an Affy spinoff, a Kane spinoff. I heard some people, wanted to see Diana and her own show turn into Monet. Admittedly, I'm not really feeling that last one. I don't know about that. But hey, I'm not knocking no one's theories, no one's ideas. Let me know what y'all thinking. But until the next video, I'm going to catch y'all later. Peace.